Bueno, estamos aquí en Music Business Academy en Ibiza entrevistando a un buen amigo, Chris Braun. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Just here taking some time to share with all the emerging artists and young generations, the key players from the industry. We'd love to have a chat with you as a manager of ARTBAT. And I don't know if it's a new artist, but yeah, let's talk about how did you start in the music industry?
Well, that was early days. I was 15 years. I was running a nightlife. How you say, like a nightlife community. We were taking pictures for parties under 18 years, and that's the very basic beginning. Then we had a section called DJ interviews. I was doing interviews for DJs. That's how I got introduced to one of the biggest artists in my area in Germany and whole Germany. And this guy is funny. And yeah, that's how everything started. And then one day a friend of mine was asking me if I want to do his bookings, his management. I was 16 years by then, so you can imagine my parents. And yeah, from then on, I did that on the side. I did my school. I was playing handball, balón mano in Spanish. And yeah, I was doing that for almost, I would say 6-7 years. And then I moved to Dubai and did a lot of bookings there, basically.
Yeah, remember we crossed our path many times. I remember I was in an agency and we did some good booking with you, and suddenly you became a manager. And this is the thing for many people in the industry. They start in a job position and they change, but maybe they give you like I don't know, more empathy with different jobs.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience, you know. I'd love to do that, you know. I was getting in touch with all the agencies, the managers. It's very boring, I know. The DJs, you know, like I got used to handle itineraries. The whole booking procedure, basically. You know, and that's why I have a lot of understanding for all the agents and for all the promoters now, because I know exactly how difficult it is to satisfy everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Today you are managing probably one of the most successful artists, ARTBAT.
Correct.
And you guys started together. I think you wrote together.
We started from scratch, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, their scratch.
Yeah.
Artur, one of the guys, he was doing a lot of bookings and basically the management for a club in Kiev called G.
I remember.
And he booked a couple of artists that I represented. That's how we got in touch, and I was listening to their music, and phenomenal. Like we had a click from day one, basically, and just an incredible talent. Music-wise is enormous. So yeah, that's how we got in touch, basically. Yeah.
What would you say that makes the difference with this artist? What is the strength?
It's tough to say. I think the biggest difference is that there's always something, you know, there's always something to do. They're always on the move. They're never waiting until something comes to them. So I do never wait until something comes to me. So we're like progressively working, constant studio. This is the most important. You need to be constant in the studio. It doesn't matter what you do. Just finish it, you know, finish it. You might be happy, you might not be happy, but it's important to finish everything you start.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they are really good in. Come here. Yeah, that's what they're really good in. They're just very productive and daily content, really daily content. It's incredible. I would say, I wouldn't call it a strength, but just, you know, they're like the motivation they have is incredible.
That's really important because
Yes.
I saw during all these years artists that are not really proactive,
Yes.
and they are waiting to see what as a manager you can bring into the table. But the creative process should be from the artist side, I believe. We are there to just to follow, and to make the things happening. But it's funny when I talk to you and say I'm extremely busy, and half of the other managers are sleeping or they don't have many things to do. So
it's just important to be proactive. There's always something to do.
Yeah.
Like obviously the touring part the touring situation fell apart. There's no such or almost no income for gigs.
Yeah.
So you need to be creative. You need to find other ways of supporting your artists, supporting yourself.
Of course.
Keep yourself busy, and also have the fans always somehow up to date. They need to know what's going on, and you need to keep them happy.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is super difficult these days.
Yeah.
Because if it's about the fans, it's simply you have every day a podcast, every day a stream, every third day you present a unreleased track, and so on and so forth. So it's really difficult to keep the balance.
Yeah.
Keep everyone happy, but also, keep some stuff under the radar. It's difficult.
If let's say we fly like 2-3 years ago when the guys started,
Yeah.
How was this process of sending music when they were quite unknown to big labels and to start all this thing?
Well, this is, as you know, probably the most difficult thing to get attention.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. We luckily had always a good connection to a couple of artists like Solomon, who was head honcho at Dynamic, and he was stop it. And he was a fan from day one, which made everything a little easier. Otherwise, you have to send in demos. It's probably not reaching the right person.
Yeah.
If it's reaching the right person, you're a no-name, so probably they don't accept. It's mostly luck, man.
Yeah.
Like mostly luck and your contacts. And obviously the music has to fit, You need to be exceptional. You need to do something that is probably not common.
Yeah.
Something that is not what everyone is doing at the moment, your own style. And I think ARTBAT did really great job there. Mm-hmm. They have created their niche music, their style, which everyone knows now, obviously.
Yeah.
If you hear a track in the club and, you hear the first 2-3 beats, like, okay, that must be a new ARTBAT, or that is a ARTBAT.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And yeah, you just need to be recognizable. I think that's the most important. And then just be consistent. Like send in demos. If you don't get a listen or a feedback, send it in again, right? Until you succeed,
Yeah. When the emerging artists, they want to produce music and they want to send music to such a big label, no? What would you say that is the most important thing?
It's a good one. Can you repeat?
You are not in the guest list anymore.
Sometimes the easier way is the better way. So what I always say to if there's a lot of people asking me always for advice and can you let me know where to send tracks, who to send tracks to. And I always will let them know, like, first of all, you give me a list of labels that you really like, and then I have a listen and I see if that's the right direction or that's the right direction. But sometimes the smaller labels, the up and coming labels are giving you the opportunity to grow, So we had the same for ARTBAT, for example, we were working with Freiheit, the label of Hosh. The label just started, but we gave it a try, and it succeeded. It's all about PR, marketing, how much of a motivation the label has. It needs to be like you need to be on a wave with them. Like there has to be a flow. If there's no flow, forget about it. You can be at any label. If they don't support you, you will not succeed. 100%. So sometimes better to work with smaller labels, get the attention you need as a smaller artist, That's it.
As a manager, what would you say that is your main job these days? Because I saw managers just involved in the touring thing, and now they are completely lost. Are you involved in everything? Like
it depends. Well, I'm involved in everything from the music side to the legal side, touring, and so on and so forth. Marketing, PR, everything. So that's how I keep myself busy nowadays. It's not as much as it was before, but you need to keep yourself active, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Cool. And as advice or tip for all these people that they want to do another step in the music industry, or they want to start, what would you say that is the most important tip that you give?
There's so many things. But just be consistent and constantly work, be in the studio, I wouldn't say attacking or pushing people to work with you, but you need to be consistent. You need, if they're not up to date, if they don't know what you're doing at the moment, they will probably not be interested, Like sometimes, like as said before, you need a lot of luck.
Yeah.
And you need to be in the right time with the right guy. And this is mostly luck, And once you succeed anyway, everyone is coming. Big managers, big agents, big labels, and then you choose, But all start is very difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, there's so many artists and so many good artists, exceptional music, different styles. You need to be different.
Yeah.
Just be different, Like believe in yourself, you can succeed.
Okay, and to end up this chat, as the biggest lesson that you have learned during all this year in the industry, what would it be for you?
Trust yourself. Just trust yourself. That I've learned the most. Believe in yourself. Keep yourself busy and active. Do sports, whatever. Stay sane. And we know who our friends are now. I would say that's the biggest. That's the biggest lesson we have learned out of this year, I think, and especially in the industry. You can see who's supporting who and who really wants to stay. He wants to say goodbye as well. Like to see who stays active with his fans and all these things. Like now we know.
Yeah, now we know everything.
We know.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cool, mates. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you soon.
Will do.
Ole,
cabrón. Uno. We can talk 3 hours like this.
Yeah.